As I pondered how to begin my story, my mind felt like a cluttered cloud, echoing with a single question. Why? Why me? Why our marriage, which I thought was perfect? Alice, our children, and I, John. As I looked around the room, my gaze aimlessly wandering, why did Alice, one of the many beautiful women present, choose this? Why did this woman, who had agreed to marry me, who had dedicated her life to me, choose otherwise? Before diving into my story, don't forget to subscribe to Cheating Stories Best so you don't miss the most striking tales about infidelity and marriage. Now, I invite you on this emotional journey. If you're ready, let's begin our video. Once I had a life that I thought was perfect. I, John, my wife Alice, and our two wonderful children. Yet it didn't take long for me to realize that behind the sparkle in Alice's eyes was a vision of a future that did not include me. One evening, sitting in silence when I asked, "What do you dream of doing when the children are grown?" Her reply sent a chill through my heart. "Lots of things," she said, swiftly changing the subject. At that moment, I understood that I was not part of her dreams. That evening, in the crowded and noisy lounge of a club with my friend Dean, things did not go as expected. Dean must have noticed my silence and the look on my face as he asked with concern, "Are you okay, John?" The anger and helplessness in my eyes rendered his question meaningless. Across the table, 4 beautiful young women sat. Why wasn't one of them Alice? Suddenly, I began to laugh. My outburst drew stares from around us. As tears streamed down my face, I realized that our relationship was no longer monogamous. Alice no longer had any obligation to consider my feelings. In that moment of despair, I wondered why Alice was searching for a new adventure, why she was overlooking me. During an event with friends, I had seen Alice dance with Mark, a man who had become the center of attention, and then leave with him, completely forgetting me. That dance was proof that she had disregarded my presence and our marriage. The support of our friends for her actions wounded me deeply. It was then that I decided I had to forget Alice and live my own life. When I left the club and arrived at the hotel, I instructed the young receptionist to ensure that Alice collected her belongings from our old room, while I kept the new suite for myself. I disposed of all of Alice's belongings and closed the door to my new life. Returning to the club, I tipped the doorman generously for re-entry. The table still hosted 4 beautiful women, unaccompanied by any men. I approached them, seeking a new adventure to fill the void Alice had left. While dancing with a red-haired woman named Samantha, I savored the taste of freedom and a new beginning. At the end of the night, I invited Samantha and her friends to my suite. I ordered champagne to our room from the reception. For the first time, I was chasing my own decisions and pleasure. Waking up in the morning, Samantha was peacefully sleeping beside me. The other women had collapsed onto the king-sized bed. That day, I swung open the doors to a new life. I had erased the memories of my old life in an instant and began to think solely of myself. Alice learned of my dance with other women through friends and could not hide her rage and disillusionment. When she returned home, she was tormented by the thought of me in bed with another woman, feeling the venom of betrayal. Her eyes filled with anger, hurt, and disappointment deeply affected me. When she asked, "Why, John? Why?" My response was clear. "Because you cheated first, Alice." Subsequently, our paths diverged. She stayed with our children, and I embarked on a new beginning. I left behind the internal battle and my love for Alice. As I built a new life on the ruins of our relationship, Alice was left to face the consequences of her mistakes. 2 broken hearts embarked on searches for new beginnings in different worlds. Alice began her inward journey. I launched into a new adventure with Samantha's youthful and vibrant spirit. And thus I turned the last page of what I once believed to be a perfect life.